Alright, I forgot this thing again. Hello there, kitties. I'm carrying the vacuum tube witch. Okay, looks like I'm coming through. I always keep forgetting about clicking that fucking button. If you see, there's this button in the upper right corner that I have to click. Yeah, looks like something doesn't like me. Should be working. I don't know if I clicked the wrong button or what. Nah. Back to the basics. Come on, like... I've done streams for at least half a year, if not longer. So, YouTube probably hates me, but it might be OBS that hates me more. Yeah, it would work if it was made of vacuum tubes. Especially if I used 1950s cameras. So, back to the topic. It's American Tech Appreciation Stream. Because I don't have that much American Tech in my lab, living in Poland, it has its disadvantages that I'm on a very low income, even for the Polish standards, not to mention American. So, buying stuff internationally, getting things off eBay, and paying for international postage, this is a bitch. I can't really do that. Because this is so mighty expensive, I can't afford it. So, generally, any Western technology, any American or Western European electronics in my lab, I mainly buy it off online auctions and classifieds, or find at clearances in universities, or swap with some of my friends who need something different, like some hi-fi equipment and so on and so on. So I don't have that much stuff around here. Is it a double female RGB VGA adapter? No, it's a DE9 double male. It should be double female, because then I just wear it because because it says mini gender changer. But this one changes from female to male, and I'm transitioning the other way. So I really should have a female to female. Still, a mini gender changer. Just a nerdy trans reference. And I'm all about nerdy trans and queer things. Because you are what you eat. I was keen on getting that. Like, I didn't really love the candy all that much. To me it was kinda meh. But the box, I got it for the box. No box, no begrudgers, right? The candy that I really love, you find it mostly in the Netherlands or Northern Europe. I'm a total nerd for licorice. So, what do we have here? We have the typical waffle device, but it's not the fuel tank that we're interested in. It's the ignition system loaded. Ignition. Real deal American. Zippo. I got it 11 years ago. In 2012. Another Klingon. Yeah, fire. Okay, let's read the chat to see what's going on, because otherwise I just couldn't catch up. Yeah, that's the. Yeah, hopefully we still have Gdańsk. Indeed. Yeah, Chipmunk, that's right. I've been streaming. When was my first stream, by the way? When was my first stream? Of course, knowing that there's always a risk of killing the stream again, it fills me with determination. And 599. That's a good report on my channel. 599. Waiting for the 600 subscribers. And let's find the first live stream. That was the memorable Semtron. Then the memorable Semtron stream when I lost power. And I probably wasn't live for half an hour. That you know, it's always some shit happening. My first stream, it was on 18th of October last year. So it will definitely be almost 3/4 of a year that I've done live streams. Okay, back to the chat. Yeah, can't beat a good Zippo. It is a great brand. Of course. LED Zippo time. Please, no. LED Zeppelin. LED Zeppelin. Wow. maybe building a wireframe airship with LEDs all over the place. Do I play that guitar? I still gotta learn to play it. I mainly use it for testing the amplifiers, the prototype. Looks like we've got some trouble with the upload. Uplink might be failing. Will I do a 555 from Hell special? Not exactly sure what that means. I would probably do 2 other kinds of 555. One of them would be the 555, any 555 chip, then the square wave generator. And the other one, if I'm really lucky or really affluent, that's the Tektronix 555 or triple nickel. What an awesome scope. A mighty, heavy, and equally awesome scope. Wish I could tinker with that. Oh, Omega Chaotix. Sad to hear that. Sad to hear that. Take care. Cyberpunk-ish movie features LED illuminated Zeppelin. Interesting. 666, the number of the beast. I was spawned to be released. So, the other item I have here, it's from my friend Alana. The classic, the Weller TCP-S soldering iron with those Magna Stat soldering tips. That's a pretty curious principle of operation. Curious because this is the metal is magnetic, and it's when it reaches the Curie point, it loses its ferromagnetic properties, and there's a reed switch inside the soldering iron. Normally, when the tip is under the Curie point, then the magnet at the end of the tip switches on that reed switch, allowing the current to flow through the heater. And after the metal heats up and reaches the Curie point, it loses its magnetic properties, turns off the reed switch. That stops the current from flowing, and after the tip cools down again, it will go magnetic and turn on the current. And this is a transformer supply that I made for the soldering iron using some German components. East German. It was originally an enclosure for a microscope light power supply, and I repurposed it to install a 24 volts AC power transformer in it, and that's a pretty compact soldering station. And reading the chat. Not too much new. Not too much new stuff. Such a nice young man, who knew? Yeah, period correct soldering iron. And pretty powerful. This is 48 watts. Yeah, tick tick, the tip goes. Yeah, and I added an indicator light on this Weller iron. Let me show you. Gotta get some power. Strange. Shh. What's... Is this cable not up to specs? What the hell is wrong with you? Come on. Bullshit. Gotta grab another one. Yeah, this pesky little bugger is a lot better. Yeah, I see C13 or C14, and we've got an indicator light on both the supply and the iron. This is actually a bidirectional LED, bidirectional green and red. And after the iron heats up, the light will turn green on both the station and the iron. I see? It's green. Oh. It's not green here? Why is it not green? That's interesting. Still good enough. At least it shows when it's heating. Maybe some diode got shot. Not exactly sure. I might have had the schematic for this thing. Or I might have posted it on Hackaday. One moment, please. Let me show you. Let me find that. Now, come on, you pesky little bugger. Now you're asking me to log in. Two-factor authentication, whoa! All kinds of trouble standing in your way. Using the internet in 2010s and 2020s, it's a total bitch. Not like 2000s. And certainly not like the 90s, though I never had the opportunity to use the internet in the 90s. Have I posted that one to Hackaday? No, probably not. I made a YouTube video about that soldering iron trick, but I probably haven't posted it to Hackaday. Let's look at Carrie's Journal of Science and Technology. Maybe I've got a schematic somewhere. Nah, not really, not really. All kinds of stuff, but never what you need. Designs, reverse engineering notes, but not what I'm looking for. I still haven't found what I'm looking for. No. By the way, one curiosity drawing. I'm gonna show you. This one, I think it looks pretty nice. Come on. I think I have to go to the bench with it. See, when I was learning the NASA style cable stitching, made some drawings. I analyzed a few different styles of cable stitching, This is the one that I learned from the NASA standard. This is the one that I formerly used, and it had some disadvantages, like the stitches unfurling. And this one is total shit. Found it in some vintage power supply, and there's no way it cannot unfurl. It's so unstable. I could even say that Donald Trump is more stable than that. I could even say that the elongated muskrat is more stable. Yeah, just a little note from my engineering journal. Cooled down? Yeah, it cooled down. Next little American item is the RCA 4545 photo multiplier tube. I don't exactly know where I got it from. Planning to make a little experimental setup with some high voltage DC to DC converter that I found at a hackerspace in my old city. This is 12 volt to almost 1400 volts DC. FS series from mcohighvoltage.com. When I did some research on those things, they were pretty expensive. And this is a potted high voltage DC to DC converter. Might be somewhat useful in my experiments. Let's read the chat. What's going on? Aileen, hi, nice to see you. I wasn't expecting you. Hi, dear. Aileen is my real life friend. Yeah, let's read the chat. Looks like I'm getting behind. Hi, Bob, nice to see you. And by the way, hi Full Wave Act, hi everyone. Speaking of Bob, that's when I mentioned that flight suit is go for launch. I will show you the flight suit after I deal with the chat. Yeah, Aileen, much of the American stuff nowadays isn't that special, really. I think I agree. That's why I mostly have vintage stuff. The real deal from the 80s, from the 70s, from the 60s even. Oh, Eduardo is a sucker for licorice. That's cool. Nice. Golden age of American engineering, indeed. And Make sure you do, Eileen. Make sure you do. I'm always happy to go through some before time stuff, do a teardown, do a reverse engineering. Yes, up the irons. 666, the number of the beast. I know Iron Maiden is British, but who cares? Pesky little bugger, where did I learn the phrase? From EV blog, of course. Yeah, some people hate it with passion. Yeah, indeed. Let's have some. Is log really the root of all evil? If all evil is negative, then the root of all evil is imaginary. Unless we are talking about odd order roots, but if we are talking about even order roots, then it is imaginary. $2,800 baht? That must have been very slow. 56k would be sluggish for today's standards. Yeah. That's true, you cherished it more if you downloaded a picture in minutes and paid for the dial-up. Indeed. That's also a thing about running on very limited resources. You really have to put a lot of thought in what you get, what you devote, what you sacrifice and what you gain. Not a confession stream. By the way, speaking of Aileen, she gave me this. The real deal. From the NASA souvenir shop in Cape Canaveral. When she was there in January or February. She got it for me and gave me the present. And it's been here in the lab ever since. I see people in the streets wearing NASA t-shirts and hoodies, and every time I see one, I wonder, are they really a space nerd? It doesn't seem that the people who wear NASA merchandise, that most of the people who wear NASA merchandise are space nerds. It's become a mainstream fashion in the last few years here in Poland. I have no idea why it's the case. I doubt it's because of James Webb or Artemis. And reading the chat again. Yeah. No idea about the meaning of money. I lost the idea of the meaning of money. For all this inflation shit show that's been going on lately, I just no longer know how much in money things are worth. It changed so much. Watch your eyes, guys. The light is coming back. Yeah, there was no money for computers, indeed. But there were people around who did. That's true, Eileen. It's also the case with me. Being able to access cool technology because other people have something that has to be tinkered with, that has to be repaired. Just take a look at this fine example. Still undergoing recombobulation, but I've got this pesky little bugger. We made it with a 3D printer, the resin 3D printer. It goes right on the screw in the plunger. This is the hammer solenoid for the IBM wheel writer. And I think I will make a repair video, the second repair video of the wheel writer tomorrow. So, when I get that one right, and when I interface with it on the parallel port, and when I make it print some characters, oh my goodness, this is gonna be fun. Yes, flight suit. Flight suit. Mission control. This is Keri. Preparing to execute the flight suit deployment maneuver. But this is the one, and you'll see it live. For the first time, Bob knows what it is. It's the thing that really made me happy. Just look at that. Oh my goodness, it's a thing of beauty and enjoy forever! Oh my goodness, one moment please. Let me put this thing on. Okay, ready? Alright. I think I will have to wear a corset underneath it. It's the largest size they had. Fran advised to get 2 sizes larger than what you normally order, but I think it's a little bit too small for me. That's what that's what your options are if you're a big girl like me. Yeah. On YouTube, looking at my tube. Looking at my tube. We've got tubes galore. And that's not even the 10th of my collection. I've got boxes and boxes of tube. Yes, indeed, Aileen, that's my FranLab t-shirt. The one I'm so happy about. And I really wanted to wait with it for some... No, it's not. It's not a play on ManLab. Haven't you ever heard of Fran Blanche? She's an absolute inspiration for me and for my channel. And I feel some close attachment to her. The story of how I found her and how I rediscovered her. That's a story of its own. How so? Yeah, 1950 to 90 was the golden age of American ingenuity. Indeed. That's exactly what I think. The workhorse oscilloscope, the 468 that I have on my bench, it's as old as me, 1986. I absolutely love the vintage stuff. By the way, recently another scope made the news. The 465, a very particular 465, made the news recently. Because it surfaced and it turned out that was the very scope that was used to make the Atari Pong. That very specimen. Makes me wonder what this one will be used for. If it will help me make any groundbreaking invention, I wouldn't, seriously, I wouldn't count for it. I've got too much imposter syndrome to even think that I'm able to create anything that will make history. I can still try and I can still carry on. Yeah, Aileen, if she has some cool stuff, that would be fun. That reminds me, when I went to the Netherlands for the first time, Or for the second time, I brought some monotype parts and materials back for the museum that I worked for, and also for me. Do those candy give me a brown tongue? I don't think so. Hi, Electron Box. Yeah, NASA pyjama. Nice. Hello, kitty. Tallahassee. That Tallahassee I read about in the last theorem. I guess that one. Yeah, the t-shirt is bright indeed. You'll be kicked out of the cult. Fingerling. Fangirling. Yeah, totally. Stupid Apple garbage I'm working with? Yeah. Hello everyone. How's it going? I hope you're all having a lovely day. Yeah, single tube audio amp. I also know those, especially if it's a combined tube like this ECL86. This is a triode and a pentode in a single envelope. 86 is not vintage. Please. By my standards, everything from the last century would be vintage by now. First Lego space in 1996. That's fucking cool. That's nice. When is my fire time? Oh shit! I missed it. Missed the woofo. I missed the woofo. Should I woofo anyway? Let me bring something little for you. Yeah. I've got this stimulus isolation unit. I don't exactly know what system it was used in, but it's still American tech, made in Quincy in Massachusetts. Grass Instrument Company. I got it from the university hospital. And this is quite interesting. Quite a thing of beauty inside. Time to show you the guts. Just looking at the way how it is built, it's so inspiring. It has a tube in it. Let's go over to the bench. With the wheel rider on it, but still. It has two lovely, absolutely lovely big switches made by... What's the manufacturer of it? Not sure if it's Carling or some other company, but the look and feel of those switches, it's so creamy. It's so superb. Just how it feels to toggle those. Then the sounds they make, the springy feeling. It's just so lovely. We've got the wafer switch like those found in HIF kits. Also a lovely feeling. Got some binding posts. This appears to be a capacitive resistive voltage divider. Has ranges marked on the faceplate. The mono and bi switch, it's basically a bypass switch, a bypass for the spike capacitor, plus probably some other circuitry. Don't be vague, use Sprague. And the +1 or +2 switch, it's a polarity reversal switch. Not exactly sure what its function was. Then we've got some trimmer capacitors. They appear to be mica trimmers. With some Cornell de Billiere capacitor on the other side here as well. A bunch of germanium diodes, a bunch of inductors. The tube 6AG7. Come on. General Electric electronic tube made in USA. Look at this thing of beauty. And what appears to be a high frequency transformer with a capacitor across one of the windings. So that would be a resonant filter or something like that. And this would be the power, heating, and probably input or output connection. I'm not taking this thing apart. I will keep it as a museum piece. Look at this. This would be the flame retardant substrate you see on PCBs. Only that this one is either double layer or extra thick. It's out of curiosity. Let's check how thick it is. 2.4 millimeters. you don't see that thickness on PCBs. And there are eyelets and turrets for point-to-point connections. They don't make them anymore. So that's a museum piece that I'm pretty fond of. It's pretty tricky to take apart and put back together. As in the schools, they are also very nice. And let's get back to reading the chat. Yeah, even Anna says that you look and behave like someone 15 years younger. Hi Raven Looney, nice to see you. Yeah, Switch ASMR, indeed. ECL82, it would be highly probable. In radios, those tubes were very common as the output stages. Like integrating the voltage amplification stage and the power amplification stage. That's how it was done in European radios. And if you needed some more output power from the radio, then you usually used a EL84. Some radios even have a push-pull output stage with two ECL86 or ELL91 as far as I remember, or two EL84s. And of course, being push-pull, they also need some triode, preferably double triode for the phase inverter stage. And once I had a enormous East German radio named Beethoven 2 in for restoration, and you know what output stage it had? It had two output stages, one single-ended EL84 stage for the medium and for the middle tones and treble, and a push-pull EL84 stage for the bass. And it had an active crossover. Very curious. And oh my goodness, the customer who asked for this repair, for the renovation, was very happy with the radio after I was done with it and gave it back. I did some modifications to the original circuit to make it absolutely hum-free. Because it was humming, it had a lot of 50 Hz noise. And tell you what, you know what does the trick of removing the mains hum from vacuum tube output stage? Decoupling the DC on the screen grid of the output tubes. If you have AC ripple there, it's gonna hum. If you filter that, there's a very high chance that you're gonna get rid of that hum. Learned it hard way, both in the amps that I built and in the amps that I fixed for others. When am I gonna get drunk on Moreno? That's a good proposal. Actually, very good proposal. Maybe in the upcoming week. Who knows? By the way, time to check how the FriendLab t-shirt looks with a lab coat. Yeah. It's scary. Again, in a lab coat. Okay, so that's the wheel rider. I've got the electric on the other side, but I still got some more American stuff to show you. This one I showed you in one of my videos. The Statham SP1401 blood pressure monitor, and I even managed to figure out that it in fact has a vacuum. It has a digital millivoltmeter that displays the value using those three Nixie tubes. So if I wanted, I could even hack this thing pretty easily to display some analog values like temperature. And oh my goodness, this is a thing of beauty and a joy forever. Also got it from the university. And also keeping this thing as a museum exhibit. Electrophoresis power supply. My goodness, I'm keen on getting one. I would definitely get one. Those power supplies, they can support something like 300 something volts, I guess. And I would... NASA shot glasses. Yeah, that's gonna be cool. Also, extra for us is power supply. That could supply something like 300 or 400 volts at 100 milliampere, if I remember correctly. That's enough to test small vacuum tube amplifier. Like push-pull EL84. It should go with that. Alright, that was the StatHam. Just a brief appearance because it made a longer appearance already on my channel. Now some under tech that I got from the university, but I have to wipe it clean. Just in case you were wondering about the color of the enclosure, if it looks familiar, because this is the first Tektronix item that I ever got. It says defect spare parts. I'd rather rebrand it Thing of Beauty Joy Forever Museum Exhibit. Still gotta do a teardown video of this. And maybe if I get my hands on a dual power supply, I think I really should try and get it running. It has a battery pack with no batteries anymore. Yeah, a little ad hoc teardown. That's the battery pack with an integrated charger and mains supply. 410 battery pack with a plate for wiring the transformer. Look at that. Thing of beauty. Can I discombobulate it? I can discombobulate it. The power supply board, the transformer. And this device was made in the 60s. And the PCB, it's double layered with metallized holes. Extremely high tech for the age. Now we take those things for granted. But for the time it was made, in the 60s or early 70s, it was extremely high tech. And when I read when I listened to the talk that Curious Mark gave at VCF Southwest about the Apollo guidance computer, all those electronic assembly techniques that we know today and we take for granted, like surface mount components, they were around already in those times in the Apollo program. Surface mount electronics, like the AGC was built by Raytheon. The Disky was made by Sylvania. The display in the Disky. It was an extremely advanced technology, and it was just reinvented in the 80s and the 90s. A few decades. It's been around for a few decades, but it didn't really make it outside the space tech, the very advanced science. And look at the backplate of the oscilloscope after taking off the battery pack. Let's get it to the bench. See instruction manual for disassembly procedure. No unauthorized discombobulations. Look at those connectors. Wondering if it's Canon or something else. Patient cable. Input P10 and output. Medical grade stuff. There's also the speaker and a mini jack on the side. It's not 3.5 millimeter. It's probably 2.5. The ground. There's potentiometers on the sides, vertical size and position. Electrocardiograph, lead selector and speaker loudness. The function selector. I got this unit with missing knob. It's probably the same kind as we see here. And it's also the rotary switch. Has a very creamy feel. I can even turn the axle by hand. It comes from the academic hospital at the University of Amsterdam. One of the universities of Amsterdam, because the other one was the Free University. This would be probably the infirmary for the surgery block A1. Like, oh my goodness, this is fucking beautiful. All the precautions, all the instructions. Look at this honeycomb structure on the wall. They just don't make them anymore. Still gotta do the teardown video. And there is the positive and negative supply voltages. This is plus and minus 6 volts. And chances are that if I make a power supply for it, I'm gonna be able to test it if it's working and use it on a oscillographic display. For example, for XY display of musical signals. Wouldn't that be cool? I'd like to get it going with as little modification to the original circuit as possible. Because I might have gotten it for free, but I don't care. I care about the technical excellence. This is definitely technical excellence. $300 volts, 400 milliamperes. That's mighty powerful. That is... yeah, 120 watts. That's a lot of power. And more than enough for a stereo push-pull amplifier with EL84s. Spicy voltages, as Clive would say. That's a good one. Yeah, video is a bit jittery. I had some trouble with the transmission. Oh, the waffle time is coming. It will be here in 10 minutes. Yeah, might be a cam issue. Who knows? Maybe it's a USB issue. Who knows? Yeah. And the penultimate example of American tech I have in my lab. Let me think if it's penultimate or if I have something more. Then the Washburn doesn't count. It was made in China. But the penultimate... it's heavy metal or no metal at all. Wimps and posers leave the hall. Tascam 244, big and heavy. Although this one was made in Japan. Teak Corporation, serial number 500,560. Porta Studio 244. Got it in my lab for checkup and cleaning and recombobulation. Someone even put a Power Ranger stickers on it. Look at that. Power Rangers, that was my childhood. Cute. It has 4 microphone and line inputs, and it has access inputs, receive and send. I think it was for effect loops. Tape Q, auxiliary receive. Tape outputs for all 4 of the tracks. Auxiliary send. Line output, auxiliary output, and remote punch input output. This is gonna be an adventure to figure this out, whether by Romeo Tango Foxtrot mic or by reverse engineering. I once had a Porta Studio 414 in my lab, also undergoing some recompilation, but that one was about 5 times smaller and lighter. There was almost nothing in that unit. And this one is so mighty, it's big and heavy, it's true vintage stuff. 80s or 90s stack. Then the controls on that one, I think it was, there was slightly more controls on the faceplate. This one features the split potentiometers. So there doesn't have to be that many potentiometers here, but they have the outer and inner shaft. It has a DBX noise reduction system. Wondering how it works. That's for the Tascam. Remember, Tascam, it's not a scam. 4 minutes till ignition. And that's the last one. Insane mechanical complexity. Still in the works. The IBM's electric free. If that's not a thing of beauty, I don't know what is. It's so heavy and complicated, and I still have to find some time and concentration to go through the service manuals and study them thoroughly. Do all the repairs and adjustments on this unit. This is gonna be a mighty nice repair project. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I'm sweating like a fucking pig. Oh, Washburn from 96. I guess that Washburn is like all kinds of other guitar manufacturers. Like for example Ibanez or Fender. They have lower grade models and they have high-end models and they have signature models. So it's not the company that makes gear so special. It's the tire that makes gear special, remarkable, or not. Of course, there were companies that made all the gear remarkable. You know what I'm talking about, Frantone. Yeah, selection box, it's a typewriter. What the bloody hell is that thing? It's a IBM Selectric 3. Selectric 3 typewriter that has a very interesting character collection, character selection mechanism. Curious Mark covered it pretty thoroughly. There were also some other YouTube channels that devoted more attention to the Zippo tree mechanism than the pulleys that rotate and tilt the typing element. This then the golf ball, like it was commonly called. It can rotate and it can also tilt to select the character from one of the 4 rows. This action was done by 2 pairs of cables going to the carriage, and those cables were pulled to strictly specified lengths by something that we would now call the digital to analog converter, but it was a mechanical digital to analog converter named the Zippo tree mechanism. It was based on several push rods or pull rods that acted in conjunction, and different combinations would make the typing element would make the cable actuating the rotation or tilt of the typing element. They would pull the cable at different length and direction. Very clever. I could easily say that This was the one of the masterpieces of mechanical engineering. The other one I'm pretty fascinated with, though I've never even had one in my hands, would be the Kerta calculator. I think that Curious Mark also featured that, and I think that Techmoan also devoted some time to it. And another such precise deck would be the monotype composition caster and keyboard. That's technology I know pretty well. Oh, it's past waffle time. Oh, fuck me gently with a chainsaw. Aileen, if you ain't seen this one, don't get scared that easily. Because we're going for a rough ride. So, fasten your seatbelts, we're going for a rough ride. And woofle! Take that, Big Clive. Yeah, I'll take off the lab coat. I'm getting hot in it. Yeah, warm and muggy. The pigs technically sweat. That's a good question. Like they say on all those NASA conferences and talks, that's a good question. Yeah, it's a nightmare to fix if something goes wrong. And quite a few things went wrong on this typewriter. So, I will be in for a lot of recombobulation effort. I'm not even sure if Fran ever had to do such a complex repair on any of her electrics. Yeah, Stare Miasto is not a nice place to live. You know, Aileen, first it's going up. It's going up to the 5th floor in a tenement house that's 5-story high with pretty high floors. Then it's all those football fans making noise at night outside, and all those musicians playing over and over again the same tunes. It gets me bored as hell. Right outside my window. Sometimes it drives me into sensory overload. If you combine the noise from the outside with some noises from inside here, when my queer friends are going to have hanky panky, and they can scream pretty loudly. And I recently had a sensory overload from that. Oh, teleprinters. As in teletype? Because that's another technology that I would absolutely love to have in my lab. A teletype, not necessarily an American teletype, but it could be a German teletype. It could be some teletype from the Comecon, the Council of Mutual Economic Assistance countries. But having a teletype and interfacing it with a computer running Linux, sending commands to it from the keyboard and getting the output in print. Same thing that I saw on Curious Mac. I think I saw it on Usagi Electric too. And I will absolutely love to show this and have it working in my lab. Not for production purposes, because paper and printing, it's just too wasteful. But as a curiosity item, as an exhibit, like when someone visits me and I can show them the technology. Kinda like the thing I did when I was working at the museum. I could talk people's ears off on the technology that I curated, the monotype stuff. And frankly, I would absolutely love to have it back in my life. Being a custodian, being a, shall we say, technology historian, doing some research on the stuff, preserving the stuff, and improving the old stuff, connecting it with the modern to get some more value from it. But while preserving the originality at the same time. The best district? Oh, Aileen, I think I have to disagree, because it's just mighty mountainous. And riding a bike in such a mountainous terrain, not very pleasant for me. Not without assist. So I'd rather have it flat. Radio teletype stuff, nice. Yeah, heavy metal, or no metal at all. Wimps and posers leave the hall. I should play Manowar on this stream like I played Rammstein on the last one. I have a bike with gears. It's 3 gears, but I keep things old school and stylish. I love the old aesthetics. I think I have something un-American somewhere in my lab, somewhere back there. Let me go and have a look. And it's funny, I can't seem to find it now. But it was a 3-gear hub from Zach's from the 1970s. Also a very nice piece of mechanical engineering. Spaceball typewriters, yeah. By the way, there were certain versions of the Selectric specially built for communicating with computers. There was a Selectric-based data terminal. And there was the Selectric Composer typewriter. That one, quite a complex machine. Maybe I can find some files on it on my disk. If I have them on this computer. Now I have them on my laptop, but not on the PC. Still, I recently downloaded some scientific papers on the workings of the selectric composer. When I have some time, I will study them. Quite a fascinating machine. And that one had electronics in it with the IBM SLT integrated circuits, which is a pretty fascinating technology in itself. Yeah, not more mountainous than Arnhem or Nijmegen. Yeah, I've never actually been to Arnhem or Nijmegen. I was in Groningen, I was in Amsterdam, and I was in Zeeuws-Vlaanderen. Like Terneuzen, like Middelburg. Yeah, now we're talking Dutch cities. A few times when I was in the Netherlands, I mainly stayed in Philippines, close to Terneuzen. That's where my friend John Cornelis lives, and we did a lot of monotype stuff together. I learned the craft from him. Oh yeah, full wave racked. That would be pretty cool. "65 kilometers per hour. Oh my goodness. Next time you try 88 miles per hour while having the time circuits and flux capacitor. Screw those flatlanders. I say screw those flat earthers. Yeah, if it makes sense. Okay, let's have a beer. It's not Tiske. Tiske is for Clive. And Tiske is pretty mainstream in my country. This one is pretty cheap. Okay. Nothing new happening in the chat. Thinking of some other things to show you. I might have one. Oh, I forgot about one more American thing. The real deal stuff. Maglite. all aluminum. Made in Ontario, California. Not in Canada. It's USA! USA! This one is the 2D model with 2D, or like we say here in Poland, R20 cells. I retrofitted it with a keychain, with a keychain ring, so that I can attach it when I need it. Also retrofitted it with a LED bulb. I think that I bought it around 2010, maybe even earlier. I got it with urban exploration in mind. Back when I did a lot of photography and urban exploration, like going to abandoned factories, all that kind of stuff. There's an interesting focusing mechanism in this thing. Let's go over to the bench and take a look real soon. Does it really have to squeak like that? Come on. Must be Murphy's Laws in action. And that's without the reflector. And the reflector has an interesting focusing mechanism. Watch your eyes, the light is coming on. If we take a closer look, there's this round, there's this stud sticking out of the holder, and this stud will abut on this slanted surface, pushing the lamp holder in or out, moving the lamp relative to the reflector. And now the action starts. If I turn the reflector, it will push the lamp holder inward and outward, inward and outward. That's how Maglite does it. And we're in all the way with the thread. And the thread has a pretty small pitch. And once I had a pretty bad adventure with this flashlight. It fell down on my foot, on my bare toes, and it's pretty heavy. It hurt for a week or something like that. An acquired taste. Armalite. I haven't heard about that one. Oh, those flat earthers. Yeah, they did that experiment. Claiming they do science, but when science proved them wrong, they will still go against science. Hi, Alison, nice to see you. More and more girls like us. Strange sense of humor indeed. Hi, Chipmunk. Sorry to hear that. Oh, I'm not sure if Maglite come with LEDs as an factory issue option. This one was my retrofit. Originally, this flashlight had a light bulb, but I replaced it with an LED. And I think it gives off a lot more light. Yeah, if Maglite still exists. I'm not sure if they are still around. Probably so, but I'm not sure. The website is there. They do have a shop. But what I mainly see is small flashlights. Not sure if they have the big ones. Like 2AA. Mini Maglite AAA. But I can't find anything bigger in their shop. That's stupid. That's stupid. Look, there's no big maglite anymore. They don't run it. So, this would be the vintage technology by now. I guess that with the modern production maglights, it's all LEDs. I don't think that they would still use light bulbs. It's just a waste of energy. If you get the same amount of light at a much longer battery life, then why not go for it? July 12th is coming up. What's with 12th of July? Because I know 14th of July. I know 16th of July. 1969. Armalite, a more modern version of Bakelite. Oh, sorry for that. Sorry for that. AR-15 Armalite rifle. I don't have an AR-15. I don't even have an AK-47. I'm not a gun nut. Went over to the dark side. Went over to the dark side. Yes, those maglights have the spurs in the tail cap. Just like this. A piece of sponge hides a spare light bulb. It's pretty clever. And this is how I mounted it. Drilled through the cap. And I'll do it away from the microphone. That nasty screeching sound is so painful to me. The Dutch king massacring the Irish on behalf of the English. Fuck the monarchy. I'm waiting for the presidential election in the UK. Like, I would gladly be a Republican in the UK, in the Netherlands. Not in America. Absolutely not in America. Oh, well, listen, you've got an interest in communist attack. Yeah, this is exactly the issue I'm talking about. That for the Westerners, the Comic-Con tech is pretty rare and sometimes unobtainium, but you have it a lot easier getting things off eBay than us here with Western tech, given the exchange rates. Like, they are very favorable to Western Europe, to the States, especially to the UK. Like, if you earn 15 euros or dollars per hour, and if I earn 15 Polish zloty per hour, and the exchange rate of Polish zloty to euro is 4.2 PLN per euro, and something like 3.9 per dollar, then you have to work for about 4 times about 4 times less than I have to work to get the same thing. This is also the case with Patreon. Like, you have to sacrifice little to make the same impact on me, while I would have to sacrifice a lot more to make the same impact for you. Like, if I want to support someone for $10, I would have to pay 40 PLN, not counting all those VATs and all that rubbish. So I would have to work for 3 hours or something like that, while you supporting someone for the same amount, for that $10, you wouldn't even have to work for an hour. And if you wanted to support me for $10, it would make an around 40 PLN impact for me. That's also something I mentioned once. It's global economy. That's how it works. It works on inequality and injustice. Yeah, Brexit. Talking politics. Poly being many, and ticks are blood-sucking creatures. Twelfth is right before 13th. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Silicon grease. Remoner? Does it have anything to do with Techmoan? Yeah, video quality fixed itself. I think it might be. I think it might have something to do with the upload bandwidth, because my internet link, it's pretty crappy. Like I've got a shitty ISP and can't really change that. The only republic the Netherlands would be good at is being a banana republic. Yeah, hating people for who they choose to be is more fun. Yeah. Minimum wage is 26 PLN. Oh, then it went up quite a lot. But I guess you're talking about the gross. Sorry, not the net salary. Like if you take away all those taxes, you're left with something like 15. Yeah, according to purchasing power parity. Right. The American economy is shit show. The American politics is even more shit show. I might show you something about the American politics. Trigger warning: transphobia. That would be the news. Pretty old news that I read today. Like Kansas wants to prevent trans people from changing the gender marker in their birth certificate. Like formally outing trans people, even if they legally transitioned. Like if someone wants to transition and go stealth, they won't be able to do that anymore. That's forced visibility and forced vulnerability. Like, yeah, it goes even worse. Like when someone already legally transitioned, then it would be virtually cancelled. And things in Europe, they're not as nice either. There's a shit show going on about privacy when it comes to healthcare records. Like there's the protests and petitions against making the healthcare records accessible to someone, to some institutions and companies the person hasn't consented to, and this will allow for a lot of abuse, like especially in the reproductive health and transgender health context. Like someone from Poland going abroad and transitioning or having an abortion. Someone from Hungary going abroad and transitioning. It would be in the files, and it would be an excuse for oppression in the country the person comes from. It's also been a subject of a major debate in some states, like in California, like keeping the records and allowing police to access the records of people who went to a more liberal state to have an abortion. Just because some state is ruled by some fuckwits who have to force their religious laws on others. I wonder what it will take to get rid of those bigots, those prejudiced people. But now the debates, the efforts they take to eradicate us, to erase us from existence, to make us go back into the closet. But we are not going anywhere into the closet. We're gonna fight. We're gonna stay determined and carry on. And it's also important to spread the word, because here in my country, here in Poland, lots of people think that Japan or the States are such progressive countries that life is all it's so easy out there. It's bullshit. It might be a disillusion for some of us. But I know that it's not as sweet as it seems. It's not as sweet. It's shitty. Total shit show. Oh, Zach Sparky, it would be both before and after. Stop charging like it's 2017. Breaks shatters. Oh yeah. And I'm having a good laugh at those breaks shitters who necessarily want to get rid of all the norms and legislations that were introduced in the European Union period of the UK, like forcibly getting rid of all the norms just because they were from the European Union, uncritically looking at them. Like, even if something is actually good, it has to go because it's European. I wonder if this will lead to changing the color coding of the wiring in the UK. But many technical norms, as I understood it, had to be changed. Was forced to be changed by the British government. Homeowner, yeah. Yeah, Ruta. Rata. Yeah, I know that I can earn 30,000 PLN without paying tax. Before that, it was something like 8,500. Before the last year. $100,000. Wow. Quite a lot. So you would pay the tax for the 70,000 over that 30,000. Yeah, why are the Americans so fucking obsessed with transphobia? I just guess it's phonetics, and that also involves the elongated muskrat. That's why I hate him so much. I hate the guy ever since he sided with Ron DeSantis. Ever since he sided with Ron DeSantis, ever since those Twitter shenanigans he is pulling, he has become the second most hated guy on Earth after Vladimir Putin. Maybe third, because there's also Jarosław Kaczyński here in Poland, but globally that would be the second most hated by me. Not even Trump is that much hated by me now. Now that he is indicted, I hope that elongated muskrat will be indicted. It's waffle time again. It's coming. Yeah, Christian extremists, indeed. Religious fanaticism. We have plenty of that shit here in Poland. Oh, Chipmunk. Trans women are biological women. I don't have any cybernetic enhancements. The only woman who's not a biological woman I can think of was Rachel from the Blade Runner. Also an aesthetic inspiration for me. Okay, let me see. Yeah, extremely right-wing state. I guess it might not be as right-wing as Arkansas or Florida or Alabama, but still, there's a lot of gun-toting fuckwits going on around there. By the way, speaking of Arkansas, I recently read an article about Miss Major Griffin Gracie, the one of the four pioneers of Stonewall riots. Damn, Miss Major Griffin Gracie. Still being active, still running a safe house for trans people on her homestead in Arkansas. An absolute fucking legend. If you were to name a living person who is such a legend for the queer community. And of course, that great deal of denialism from the white cis gay men who just took all the Stonewall to themselves. Like not wanting the trans community in the ranks, even though it was the trans women who actually started the riots, who were there for all the time, who were there through the AIDS pandemic, helping the infected, spreading the word. fucking ingrates. Like, telling all others it's all about them, the white cis gay men. While it's not them who did the hardest work in the movement. Speaking of which, I would absolutely love to get to know some friends' old queer stories. The older I get, the more interested I am in the history. It's just so important to learn history, to draw conclusions, so that we don't repeat the same mistakes again. It's past waffle time, by the way. Where's the Zippo? Here's the Zippo. The ink seems quite fluorescent. Or is it just me? And waffle! Now back to what I was talking about. Learning their history's mistakes. There's a line in one song that I absolutely love. The We Didn't Start the Fire by Billy Joel. Satayana Goodbye. That was about... That was about George Santayana. Santayana Goodbye. That's the guy who who coined the phrase that those who don't learn history are condemned to repeat it. Seems like the Santayana Goodbye line was about the culture, the civilization, forgetting this lesson. And while Billy Joel's song was about the events that the baby boomer generation and partly Generation X lived with, there was a cover made recently by Fall Out Boy. Also, we didn't start the fire, but relating to the millennial generation of all the events from 1989 to 2023. It's pretty interesting and nice song. Though I was quite surprised not to see some groundbreaking events like Artemis 1, not there. James Webb, not there. Not even Doom. If any, Metroid was mentioned, but not Doom. Not Wolfenstein. We could argue what was groundbreaking and worth mentioning, what was not. But what I loved about this song was that some references to the original song were kept. Like War in Afghanistan again. Or the one about the Cubs. Texas or Texas. Yeah, Pennsylvania, Transylvania. Ellison, if you go to Philly, maybe you could meet Fran. Pennsylvania, Transylvania. New Transylvania Republic. Glasslinger is from Texas. I knew they were some southern, at least judging from the accent, but I wasn't sure if it was Texan or somewhere else. Skunky Designs is Texan. Usagi Electric is Texan. Speaking of Usagi Electric, he was at the Vintage Computer Fest Southwest recently in Dallas, if I remember correctly. And there were even more YouTubers on that event than at VCF East. And some of them were at VCF East, some of them were new. Like Taylor and Amy. Like Jerry Ellsworth was both at East and Southwest. Usagi Electric was both at East and Southwest. Curious Mark was there. And I was absolutely mind blown by the talk Curious Mark gave about the Apollo Guidance computer restoration. That was a magnificent project. Like from trying to go places, like laying the hands on the AGC at a museum that was pretty reluctant to let them do that, but they convinced the staff, and they were still under massive oversight. Yeah, that was a huge success with his project, and the next season of this show, the communication systems restoration, the Apollo Comms system, the S-band communication, and all the multiplexing, getting the telemetry, getting the voice comms, getting the television link, still blows my mind. Okay, time to catch up and read the chat. Kitties, yeah. Senelek, yeah. Racists? Oh yeah, listen. That's true. Also, when fixing stuff from different countries, I had to do with Chinese machines. I had to do with European machines. I had to do with British machines. It's all over the place. Remove the closet doors and stuff it with vintage tube-plus gear. That's nice. Always liking vintage tube and solid state test gear. Happy 2137 to Halifax. It's can't run Doom. Yeah. Dutch punk song. Yeah, interesting. Highly distorted guitar. One moment, please. Power supply is on. This will take a few minutes. Plate supply going up. Oh. Fully up. SCE to aux. Where was the pick? Yeah, it can go to pretty high gain, especially on the humbucker. Still gonna put a lot of work into this amplifier. Yeah, Soggy Electric rocks. Exactly. Especially with the latest project, the Bendix G15 computer restoration. Totally tubular computer. Philadelphia is having some narcotic worries at the moment. What do you mean, Election Box? Yeah, Usagi won the show. Exactly. Yeah, in the pit. Anyone who played Fallout 3 will know the pit. Yeah, the electrons never mind who or what you are. They will wake you up. Wake you up. They don't discriminate. Oh, yeah. I had that adventure with electrons back in 2000 that I got zapped between my forehead and my hand. That was quite scary. That was something like 380 volts DC. I was experimenting with a PY88 vacuum tube rectifier diode and a magic eye. Had my hand on the ground and accidentally touched the cathode of the PY88 with my forehead. And oh my goodness, was I scared. That's how I got the vacuum tube with superpowers. But I don't recommend that route. It's getting loud outside. Party in the streets. Wild sex in the sheets. Oh, Raven Looney, not music. Just some tones. Just some distorted tones. Got 3 gain stages, 1 optional in this amplifier, and 2 gain adjustment pots. And this is the Spinal Tap edition. The pots can go to 11. So I can get some pretty badass distortion from both stages being turned on, rather than one being bypassed. Fentanyl. Yeah, you never forget proper electric shocks. The ones that are legendary. Wow. 600 volts DC arc. That must be something. Yeah, kinda. On one hand, it's becoming a thing again with solar. On the other hand, it's becoming a thing again with electric vehicles. Like having a lithium-ion battery fire, but also causing an arc by handling the thing inadvertently. Oh, Aileen was asking what was that millennial song? That was by Fallout Boy. Let me look it up. Let me look it up. One was from Billy Joel, the other one, the new one, was from Fallout Boy. I don't need that Google rubbish. Give me the clear link, for crying out loud. That's the one. Okay. Ah. It's almost 3 a.m. here. 1 hour UTC. Looks like it's gonna be time to go to sleep pretty soon. And I almost forgot to show you the project that I'm working on. The MTZ VFD CLK multi-time zone vacuum fluorescent display clock uses the IVL 1-7/5 vacuum fluorescent tube. This, on the other hand, is Soviet tech. Uses a Node MCU microcontroller platform to MCP23017 GPIO interfaces and two MSL 912 line drivers for the vacuum fluorescent display tube. I got a pretty nice enclosure for it. What I still have to do is making the front panel for this enclosure, and designing and making a voltage converter for the VFD tube. But originally it was supposed to be a clock with a time zone selection, but I think I will make it a little bit more than just a clock, like a thermometer and a countdown timer. It's gonna be a pretty nice project. Wombat fudge. Interesting. Now, is the kitty getting upset? Kitty. Yeah, electric vehicles not going well. I guess that it may also be it may also be about Tesla, not Bobby Tesla, and elongated muskrat. But all the news about the battery fires, they are definitely the discouraging factor. A nice STEM toy for autistic trans women. Done working. Putting shot glasses to good use. So, Aileen, let's have the last one together. I don't have too much left in this can. And what could I drink to? To the global trans resistance. Your friend in Arnhem does that. There is no Class D. Like, no Class D amplifiers? Nah, sorry, Eileen, not really having the resources for voice comms on streams. But I think that we might talk after the stream. Why not? It's 3:04. Let me look at the stats for the nerds. 10 people in the chat. The peak number was 16. Pretty nice. Better and better. How does that relate to other stats on my channel? Still 599. Just one more subscriber and I will have 600. Like people voted that having 600 subscribers would be first. It ain't happened yet. And I have the Fran Lab t-shirt on myself. Six, 61% voted that 600 subs on my channel would be the first. Were they wrong? It's very hard to get subscribers. If I don't fight for external promotion, or if I am not lucky with getting featured on Hackaday, it just ain't growing. 11 watching now. Yeah, that's nice. Maybe 10 outside me. Alright, it's gonna be time to say goodbye and have the awkward moment. 601 subscribers? How is that possible? I can see 599 now. You can see 601. Let me refresh that thing. Now I can see 600. Shenanigans? But yeah, it's kind of another milestone. Six fucking hundred, that's nice. Wonder if there's a special message on YouTube Studio for that. $600. Nothing new, at least yet. Nothing new. Wait for the 1,000. Ain't gonna happen this year, I guess. Nothing new on Patreon either. Yeah. What was I thinking? I'm not Fran. That's nice. Thanks for coming by, people, by the way. Much appreciated. I like hanging out. Fuck yeah. Okay. It's time to say goodbye.